All right, this is going to be a breathing exercise and a subtle hip pelvic floor exercise. So it's a little weird, but it's really powerful. So a lot of the times, hip, core, digestive, breathing issues really impact our pelvic floor, and that can impact sexual function and dysfunction. It can impact urinary incontinence and all forms of digestive issues, so as well as mobility, right? So, I mean, this is our pelvic bowl is what it's called, and it gets shifted and funky, and it can be difficult to release. So this is a really simple, subtle exercise that you can do on your own to build awareness and learn how to activate and release and breathe more fully into your pelvis. So the muscle that we're really working towards is the levator ani. So that is all around, or ani, depending on who says it. So that's kind of all at the base of this pelvic bowl. And it's a sort of a sphincter muscle, but it's really blanketed. It's kind of broad. And so it can be chronically tight. It can be fully defacilitated. One side can be active and one can be released or relaxed or not participating. We can have trigger points here. So just knowing what we're dealing with, that's what it is. So I'm gonna be facing away from you, and that's gonna feel weird, and I'll probably be turning funky, but you will want a spot that you can sit and it's comfortable enough to sit on your own hands, but probably not quite as squishy as a bed. If that's what you got to work with, you can, but you want your feet and legs to be able to be at about a 90. Okay, dangling is fine. If they're planted on the ground, that's fine. You don't want them really overly hinged up, okay? So I'm gonna turn away from you, like I said. And this is just gonna be inner exploration for you. When you take a true, full, deep belly breath, you should feel activation at the base of your pelvis, okay? In yoga, you'll often hear people refer to your sit bones. That's called your ischial tuberosities. Those are the bony landmarks that you feel, especially those of us with a little less of the delightful glute muscles. That's what you feel making contact. That's that bony landmark at the base of your butt. So top of the femur, base of the butt, that area, okay? So that's where you're gonna palpate. So you're gonna sit right on that. You wanna sit right on it. And so then you're gonna sit nice and tall, and you're just gonna feel your weight, and it might feel funky, it's okay. Big deep breaths in and out to just see if you can breathe to the base of your pelvis to begin. Breathing in and out through your nose. And if you don't feel any subtle movement, any activation happening around those ischial tuberosity, that's a sign of pelvis and breathing dysfunction. And it's okay. It's not a problem. You're not broken, but we want to wake that up, okay? And you might have to adjust your hands or whatever, but sitting nice and tall, sitting right on those bony landmarks, or right on your hands to those bony landmarks. Again, try to breathe. And it's very subtle. It's not like you're gonna feel it go like, whoa, holy cow. It's subtle. Build a subtle awareness here of, is there a little bit of pressure, a little tiny shift? Because that's what we're feeling into. Keep breathing. And then I want you to start to begin to try and bring your sit bones towards each other. So those ischial tuberosity, can you make them ever so slightly begin to activate and move towards each other, and notice the other muscles you move. Like you might do your glutes, you might try to move your legs, and those are good actions for you to just feel what it feels like to feel that movement around there, to feel any kind of movement. But then try to relax that, relax your glutes, relax your legs, and see if you can begin to activate those pelvic floor muscles. And so it's kind of like a Kegel, if you've ever done a Kegel. Sometimes people flex their anus, so that can also give you a little bit of movement in the area. But then what we also want to be able to do is relax it fully. So you want to maybe do a Kegel and feel, and guys and girls can both do Kegels. That is not just one-sided. That's for everybody. Pelvic floor muscles, sexual organ muscles, that's on all bodies. So activating and then relaxing. And when you activate, do you feel one side more than the other? Get curious. And notice, again, the muscles that activate and relax to try to make something happen. And keep breathing deeply. Try and travel your breath all the way down to your pelvic bowl. And it might be uncomfortable, that's okay. You might get a stretch in your rib cage, in your back, in your shoulders, in your neck. You might just be taking much deeper breaths than you usually do. That's good. And really working to relax it. We're going to do 3 more full, deep belly pelvic breaths. And we're just trying to relax all the muscles as much as possible now. At least in the pelvic bowl. We're not working to move those bones towards each other. We're just breathing as full as we can. One more deep, deep inhale, as full as you can, all the way. Good. And slip your hands out. Relax, maybe wiggle a little. And just, if you want to play with it more, you can. I know for me, when my awareness goes there, everything kind of starts to activate and balance, and I become aware of it. All of a sudden, I can draw my breath down lower. I can activate those subtler internal muscles. I can relax those subtle internal muscles. And it's an awareness building, right? This isn't stuff we talk about and do on the regular, at least not everybody does. Those of us really passionate about pelvic floor health and hip health, we are into it. People into Tantra, we are into it. But this is for everyone. This is for people who don't want to end up in adult diapers. You want to activate this stuff. This is for people who want to be able to walk if they live into their 80s and 90s. My grandma is 93 and she still walks. She doesn't do a ton of this work, but she does have really good awareness, and she was a daily walker. So that also builds awareness. And in our culture, we don't always do those kinds of things anymore. If you do, wonderful. If you don't, feel free to add walking into your practice. It's one of the best things you can do. Just, walking outside for 10, 20, 30 minutes every day, or as often as possible. And so that is this pelvic floor awakening, contraction and relaxation of the pelvic floor muscles, specifically levator ani. And enjoy. I hope that you liked that. I get that it's a little weird. Try and stick with it just to build this awareness, okay? And we'll talk soon.